Today we are tackling the old 57-leaf clover versus Benthic bloom debate. The 57-leaf clover is a red rarity item and arguably the best in the game. What it does is all random effects are rolled an additional one time plus one more per stack for a favorable outcome. In reality, the math behind this is a bit complicated, so to simplify things, basically for every 57-leaf clover that you have in your inventory, you are essentially multiplying the chance for an item to fire off by that number. So if a ATG, for example, has a 10% chance to fire off, picking up one clover will double it to 20, and picking up two will get it to about 30%. Other than the ATG, some of the other chance-based items affected by the 57-leaf clover include the Lensmaker's Glasses, the Gore's Tome, Ukulele, the Perforators, and a whole bunch of others listed here. And while that benefit is good on its own, the true value of the 57-leaf clover lies in the fact that these chance-based items can trigger each other, something called a proc chain. So the more chance-based items you have in combination with the 57-leaf clover, the nuttier things get because they really just cascade and feed into each other. On the other hand, the Benthic bloom is the void variant of this item and does something completely different and rather wacky. What it does is it upgrades 3 random items to items of the next higher rarity at the start of each stage. To clarify a bit here, because the item description is really not very clear, the only items that are affected by Benthic bloom are white and green rarity. Yellow, red, lunar, and void items are completely unaffected. Additionally, for whichever 3 random items that the Benthic bloom selects to upgrade, the entirety of that item stack will be converted to the item of the next tier. So in this example here, when I progress to the next stage, the Benthic bloom turns my 1 green regenerating scrap into 1 red happiest mask, my 1 green ignition tank into a red spare drone parts, and then my 2 stack of white sticky bombs into a 2 stack of green old guillotines. 2 more things to keep in mind. First being that just like every other void item, the Benthic bloom will corrupt any and all 57-leaf clovers that you currently have in your inventory or any that you pick up afterwards. Second is that the 3 items converted per stage is for each Benthic bloom that you have. So if you have a 2 stack, it will be 6 items converted per stage. On top of this, the Benthic bloom can upgrade green items into, you guessed it, the 57-leaf clover, which then gets corrupted into another Benthic bloom. So things can get pretty nutty pretty fast. So now that we know a little bit about each of these 2 items, which one is better? There's really no debate here. It's the clover. The 57-leaf clover is hands down better, and there's really no situation that I can think of whatsoever where if you already have a 57-leaf clover where you should be corrupting and picking up a Benthic bloom if you find it. Although the Benthic bloom looks pretty darn cool and can get you busted super quick, especially if luck's on your side and it gives you some really good red items. However, it can just as easily destroy your run by taking all of your mobility green and white items and turning them into some utter garbage red. Everybody hates Aegis. In short, although it's pretty fun, the Benthic bloom is just too much of a gamble and not worth risking a guaranteed 57-leaf clover run. Actually though, little correction here, there is a situation where you should be picking up the Benthic bloom instead of the 57-leaf clover, and it's called Mama Didn't Raise No Starbelly Sneech. 99% of gamblers quit before they hit it big, and we always bet on Benthic bloom.